What's up, ladies and gents? Ghost here, back with some more Starcraft 2. I'm going to be casting a game today between this man, you may recognize him, it's Bluesnow. He once submitted a replay to me before for the Lower League of Tips series, and he seems like a great guy. He's pretty active on the forums, and I think he submits replays to various people on YouTube for commentary and stuff like that, so big thanks to him for actually submitting the replay. He's going to be playing Terran up in the top left corner on Akilon Wastes, and in the bottom right we have his opponent, BearZ. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that clan type because it seems far too complicated for me, so we'll just call him BearZ. So this is going to be more of a cast than a Low League of Tips series video. If you haven't checked out the thread over over on Battle.net, then you should head over to the Terran forums. It's somewhere high up on the forums, I think, and there's a lot of banter going on there discussing the games. You can submit your own replays there to be cast for Low League of Tips if you would like a few tips on your gameplay. And you can also feel free to submit replays just to be casted as normal games, as they can be rather entertaining, like this one. You can also submit them by sending me a PM on YouTube and uploading to DropSC, or you can even email them to ghostmbb@gmail.com. Right, so what do we got here? Both players looking pretty standard so far. And I haven't yet seen this game, I haven't checked out the replay fully, but when he submitted this in the thread, he did kind of reveal a bit what was going to happen in it, and it sounds extremely exciting. It sounds like an epic game, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys by telling you what he said to me. Of course, if you've already seen the thread, then you probably know. However, he is going to be scouting out here, and probably going to be looking to do a fast expansion, as he's gotten 200 minerals so far saved up in his little piggy bank. But as of yet, things very, very standard. A TvT on this map is it's actually one of my least favorite maps for a TvT. This sort of third down here can be extremely annoying because they can destroy these rocks here and block off this area, and that means that you can't go down there. If you actually don't block this area off here, most Terran players will have the bulk of their army here and they will be protecting this ramp, and so you can sort of bypass that using those trees here as cover and just go this way into the third, take that out, and then this Terran player can be in a lot of trouble. So for me, killing those rocks, or the rock tower there, is definitely something of importance. And then you also have cliffs up here, which can be taken advantage of if somebody is pushing your base. How are we doing worker-wise? BearZ slightly pulling ahead there, and well, he's gotten 400 minerals, so he should be, yeah, there he goes, throwing down his expansion now at 19 supply, so not particularly early there, and his opponent BearZ is going for a faster factory than himself, so we'll see if he's going to go and try and get a little bit of harassment done, opting not to go for the super early command center or anything. He is going for the refinery there, so okay, there he throws down his CC, so maybe we are going to see him go for mech, maybe it's going to be biomech. That we shall all find out. He hasn't thrown down a second geyser here, but he has gone for the factory, so I'm not really sure what Bluesnow is planning. Normally when you get that first factory down, you will be going directly to get your second refinery, because you are going to need that gas, especially in Terran versus Terran more than in any other matchup. And Bluesnow actually getting supply blocked here, so just getting that supply depot down there, so nothing major, only a few seconds. And he's moved a few marines down here, looking to secure that ramp. Aha, and this is probably the reason he didn't go for that second gas so early. Going to be doing a reactor swap there, pumping out a couple of Hellions, so perhaps he's going to take this handful of marines and the two Hellions, try and do a little bit of harassment, or perhaps he's maybe just getting it for defense as well. Hellions are a great unit to have, and a great way to dump your minerals. When you play as Terran and you go in TvT, most players will either dump their minerals into Marines, Hellions, or Hellbats, and that is just simply because you're going to have far more minerals than you have gas, so you can't get those gas heavy units all the time. You're going to have to find a way to spend those minerals. And BearZ here moving out with a couple of Hellions of his own, scouting that tower there, and Bluesnow has no idea this is incoming, so he's probably going to try to do a run by, but he has quite a nice concave set up here. I don't think this is going to do anything at all. both players equaling workers at the moment. So he's going to try and run up the ramp. Oh dear. Loses 2 of those Hellions. Just manages to narrowly escape with the 3rd there. And BearZ only now getting his orbital and moving out. So Bluesnow a little bit ahead with the expansion there, but he hasn't actually transferred any workers over to his natural. So that isn't going to be anything special. So this is kind of the time in the game where one of these players needs to do something now. And Bluesnow seems to be doing exactly that, moving out with his Hellions. And he's going to be looking to do a little bit of a poke in the natural here. Going to be pretty difficult with 2 Widow Mines down there. But yeah, we're coming up to the 8-minute mark now, and both players are pretty even. Bluesnow supply blocked again, just throwing down a couple of supply depots now. They're about halfway done, so these little supply blocks, not the biggest supply blocks I've ever seen, I must say, but they do make a difference. Moving down with a dropship to the bottom now, and he still has those Hellions outside the natural, remember, so we'll see what he's going to do here. Going to try and make something work with 8 Marines and a dropship. Coming in here to the main, going to get a few SCV kills there. 1, 2, gets 3. 2 Hellions come in there and a tank, and he's going to have to pack up out of there. Saves those Marines just in time. And yeah, he's going to have to get out of there with that dropship, otherwise he's going to lose it. Coming in here with, oh! Loses 2 Hellions, but he did have 5 there, so he's still got 3 alive. Gets 2 SCV kills so far. 3, is he going to get that mule? If you're ever in this situation, you should try and focus the mules, because they provide you with far more minerals than the SCVs do. Even though they have a limited timer on them and they're going to expire anyway, by killing off a mule, especially if it's newly spawned, you're going to be able to deny your opponent quite a large amount of minerals. BearZ decides to throw down supply depots here. It's natural. That is a very good idea to sort of wall this area off here if you can at all with supply depots, because you can always lower them to allow your army to exit and enter your base willingly. And what do we have here? Okay, factory is going down for Bluesnow, so he's definitely looking to go for mech. How many we got? And an armory as well. So yeah, definitely going for mech with upgrades there. It will be interesting to see if he gets the upgrade to turn these Hellions into Hellbats, so he can sort of salvage those and use them. I'm having to drink water like crazy here, guys. It is so warm today inside the house. I have no idea why, because the outside temperature last night was absolutely freezing, but my throat is like drying up, so if you hear me gulping water, then hopefully you understand why. 4 factories, a total of 5 factories coming down for Bluesnow here, and he's actually taken a 3rd down in the bottom left at the 11-minute mark, so that is a pretty early 3rd. That's a really nice build that he's actually done. Gone for the early CC, got on out some Hellions and a dropship with 8 Marines, done a double-pronged attack, and speaking of that dropship, it's actually still here, just chilling out over BearZ's base. He could potentially drop those in there. That would be a really nice little tight spot for those Marines to stay in, and he could kill those 3 supply depots, so I'm not sure why he's choosing not to do that, because this dropship here is in danger of being taken out by a Viking any minute if BearZ indeed decides to go for the Vikings. However, he seems to also be going for the Hellbat tank composition. Got a total of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 factories down and a starport on the way, and he's also going for the upgrades from the armory. So both players looking to be doing the exact same thing here. Bluesnow, however, fairly ahead in harvesters, as you would expect, being on 3 bases. But yeah, I was talking about the tactic he did. That was definitely a nice choice, going for a rush at the same time as he took his natural. And then he decided to capitalize on that situation and take a 3rd. However, he was quite lucky. Had BearZ decided to go for something like an early Hellbat drop when Bluesnow moved out of his base, then he could have potentially lost all of these SCVs here, and he would have been in a dire situation. So both players just macroing up now, and how are we doing for units lost? Okay, Bluesnow has actually lost a few more minerals or resources worth than his opponent, but he does have that 3rd down, so I would say at the moment Bluesnow is ahead. He has a clear supply lead here, and he's getting a 3rd, and looks here to be gearing up to take a 4th once he's got those rocks down. really pulling ahead in the SCV count now. He's doing a great job of building SCVs at all 3 command centers here, getting his upgrades for his mech and just pumping out units. He does have around 500 minerals that he's floating here, so he could maybe up his production somewhat, but probably going to be going to throw down a CC here in a minute. And yep, there you go, his minerals down. CC has been thrown down, so doing a nice job here, macroing by Bluesnow, putting on a second armory, so he's really gearing up now. And this is the time where BearZ really needs to get off his arse and do something. He needs to drop, he needs to have some kind of dent. Has he even scouted him? He hasn't scouted any of these expansions, so he has seen the factories, he knows that he's going for mech, but he hasn't seen the expansions. And Bluesnow has seen the main, or sorry, the natural of BearZ, but he has no idea that his third is going down. But I'm pretty sure he knows that he's ahead right now. He is maxed, and he has 1 upgrade for the attack of his mech, so he's going to be going in here and trying to get some work done. And BearZ capitalizing on his cliff here. This is the exact situation where, there you see, BearZ has destroyed the rock tower here, so that is going to potentially stop Bluesnow from getting in here. He's really got this main ramp covered. You see that there's a bunker, there's widow mines, there are tanks, his entire army is there. It's so well covered, difficult to get in there. Really what I would like to see Bluesnow do is siege up here, try and take out this tank and eke out those rocks there in order to be able to exploit this passageway. And he's indeed going to try and do that. Maybe not in the most subtle way possible, just going to, you know, attack those rocks and running with his entire army. And BearZ comes, he's prepared, but he doesn't have his tank sieged. And oh my god, he's just going to absolutely destroy. All the hellbats go down for both players, in fact. And we have a crap load of tanks left here for Bluesnow, with only, well, quite a few left for his opponent as well. And 6 Vikings there each. So, what the hell am I talking about? 6 Vikings each, 6 Vikings for BearZ. Bluesnow there caused a retreat. That's probably a wise decision by him. Although he did have quite a large number of tanks left there. He probably would have ended up losing them if he'd have stuck around for too long without any units to support those tanks, especially without any Vikings. They would really be under a big threat from a potential Banshee or any sort of shenanigans going on like that. BearZ going to be pumping out plenty of Vikings here, and Bluesnow hasn't actually gotten any yet, so that's a little bit of a concern. He has absolutely nothing in terms of air at the moment. He doesn't even have a single marine as far as I can see. But he is throwing down a couple of starports there, so hopefully we're going to see him get a few Vikings out before too late. 88 workers here on their 4 base, so looking pretty solid there. Around 24 workers per expansion. I think that works out something like, well, almost 100, I suppose, 95-ish. That should be the optimal amount of workers for him to have, and he is currently at 91, so good job there to Bluesnow. I would like to see him capitalize more. I feel like he could go and take an expansion down here. He is currently on 4 base, but he could definitely take that. He's got decent map control at the moment. He's got a dropship up there. I think it's just sort of chilling out, doing nothing. And oops, Hellions run by in here. And I'm not exactly sure how that happened because BearZ has... Oh, there's a little gap there that they got through. Okay, that explains it. BearZ not quite getting the supply depot block down there in time. Allows a little gap there for the Hellions to run through. And I don't think he really killed too many workers at that point. Resources lost for both players here. Almost even. Bluesnow actually lost a little bit more than his opponent, even though he's ahead in the game. I do like this choice from BearZ, though, to actually block off this point here. So he has collapsed the rocks. The rocks have been killed, and he's now going to block this off again, because this will just be exploited so much in a TvT. However, he can choose, if he wishes to do so, to set up tanks here and just shell all those supply depots. And sometimes losing 5 depots at a time means you have this massive supply block and you can't get anything. Bluesnow has an insane amount of minerals right now. His opponent here, BearZ, is doing pretty well keeping his minerals nice and low. Bluesnow needs to just throw down CCs everywhere, get more production facilities, because you may be saying, well, he's maxed out so he can't really spend his money on anything, but he could be getting CCs, he could be getting production facilities, and he's getting plenty of upgrades. And in that way, if he would lose this entire army now, and holy crap, that is a lot of tanks. 18 tanks. That is 18 tanks. That is a lot. That is serious firepower that they upgraded with 2-2. But yeah, as I was saying before, if he would now lose this entire army, if he would have upgraded, sort of gotten himself a lot more production facilities with these 11,000 minerals that he has here, he could almost instantly max out. A little bit similar to how Zerg can do that in a situation where they lose their entire army. So there's not really any use in hovering that amount of minerals for him. He could even be building planetaries here in order to defend. He's actually falling back here. I'm not sure why he's doing this. Maybe this sheer amount of Vikings scared him off here. But we have 2-1 mech upgrades for BearZ, 2-2 for Bluesnow, with 3-2 on the way, and 3-2 also on the way for his opponent here. So both players here are looking pretty even. They both have the same upgrades, or almost the same upgrades, coming up here in just a few seconds. They have the same army composition, except that BearZ has quite a lot more Vikings than Bluesnow does, and they're both maxed out. So something's got to happen soon enough here, guys, and it's going to be interesting to see what. And what the hell is this? 4 starports going on. What is Bluesnow up to here? Is he going BCs? Oh, he's a cheeky little bugger. That is indeed definitely a good tactic to go for as well, if you have that sheer amount of minerals and gas stored up in the bank. Transition to Sky Terran. That can really catch the enemy off guard, and that is an excellent choice by him. He has a lot of Vikings, BearZ here, but he also has a lot of ground units, which can't do really anything at all. But he's coming in here, going to be picking off all of these dropships, and at the moment, despite getting 5 starports down, Bluesnow appears to have absolutely no Vikings anywhere, so any air unit that Bluesnow has is going to get absolutely demolished by these Vikings, and BearZ is completely free to just roam around the map. And of course, oh dear, a number of Hellions there are running into that line of tank fire. Both players with a sheer insane amount of tanks. Bluesnow has actually fallen quite severely behind in supply now after losing all those Hellions. I think he had no idea that his opponent was here. I can't see why he would have sent in those Hellions otherwise. And something's got to happen here. One of these players is going to lose a large amount of their army. There goes down that dropship. And what we have, Ravens coming out. 4 Ravens and upgrades for them as well on the way. Ship plating level 3. Ah, I must have missed that. I didn't know he got on ship plating level 2 even. So he's even going for the ship weapons level 1. BearZ here going to be capitalizing using those Ravens. Fly into the natural of Bluesnow. Take out most of those SCVs. And looks like he's going to get that CC as well. Oops, the old lift up there. That's a little bit of an instinct for Terran players. When your CC starts getting attacked, you lift it off and float it away, but maybe not the best choice there against those Vikings. Although that didn't really matter too much. The amount of minerals left here is relatively close to nothing, so not really a huge setback for Bluesnow. Both players at a pretty big standoff right now. How are we doing for income? Both players all, well, looking pretty similar for the income. BearZ is actually pulling ahead right now, but harvester-wise, they're similar. Resources lost, Bluesnow is still behind. So this whole game, in fact, he's actually been trading a little bit worse than his opponent BearZ has. I'm really looking forward to see what he's going to do with these Ravens, because holy crap, he has 8 Ravens right now. The amount of PDDs he can set down is insane. In fact, I would like to see him pump out some Vikings, because he has 2... Alright, here come the Vikings. Yeah, he has 2 reacted starports up there. So he can be making 4 Vikings at a time, 4 Ravens at a time, and be getting a very scary army up. And even with the sheer amount of Vikings from BearZ here, he has so many PDDs that he can throw down that these Vikings will not do anything at all. BearZ going in here with the Hellback drop on the tanks, and he's going to start demolishing all... Oh my god! Seeker missiles going down everywhere. Holy crap. More Seeker missiles. How many can he even do? These Ravens, okay. 1 Raven still has enough energy for 1 more Seeker missile, but BearZ is going to be moving in here. He says, I don't care about your missiles. I'm going to take you down. That was definitely some nice hellbat drops there from him, dropping them onto the tank, forcing his own tanks to shoot his entire army. But the Seeker missile's still doing work here, and I guess BearZ lost all of his Vikings in that Seeker missile engagement there, because he had like 12 Vikings before, now he has 0 Vikings, and all of a sudden he's finding that he has a couple of dropships, a load of tanks, and absolutely no air support. So I think he's going to end up in the same situation that Bluesnow was in just before, and he's going to have to fall back. Oh my god, so many missiles. Boom, go the siege tanks. Jesus Christ, how many Ravens does he actually have here? 11 Ravens. Absolutely insane play from Bluesnow. I really like this playstyle. He's completely read his opponent here, seen, okay, well, if you're going to go mech the same as me, I have all these minerals, I have this crap load of gas, I'm going to transition to Sky Terran. Although he only has 300 gas right now, he's spent so much on those Ravens. How much does Raven even cost? 200 gas a piece there. So, yeah, and he actually does have a fusion core down here, and he's gotten the upgrade for the Yamato cannon, so he could be looking to go for battle cruisers soon enough, pumping out 3 of them here, but he really doesn't have the gas to support this, perhaps. Well, he's got a couple of geysers there, and he's floating a CC over here. He realizes he really needs more gas. BearZ is just like, what the hell are all the Ravens, man? What is going on? This is a pretty bad decision by him to keep on building Hellbats and tanks. Look at that army from Bluesnow. That is so much air power right now. And the Seeker missiles are going down again. If he does, he's going to lose his entire army here. Jesus, man. That is some sheer firepower. What upgrades do these Ravens have? They have 3 ship plating. And they also have, well, the Vikings have 2 for attack. Boom, go the Hellbats. He really needs to stop making Hellbats and tanks. They are not going to do anything for him in this kind of a fight. 3 BCs now out on the field, so I mean, I'm not sure there's really anything that BearZ can do here. He's severely behind in supply now. He hasn't really taken any damage to his bases, but both players here are pretty much just taking half of the map here. BearZ with one half and Bluesnow with the other half. But I just don't see how BearZ is going to be able to play catch up. He can't really go for Marines, he has no upgrades for them, and they're just going to get shredded to pieces by the battle cruisers and the Seeker missiles. Sure, he could get a load of Vikings, but there are just so many Ravens here that he can throw down, like, look at that, 16 Ravens. He could throw down 16-point defense drones, and those Vikings are not going to do anything. Bluesnow here, throwing down a load more CCs, which is exactly what I would do, either to float them out to other expansions. There is one that's free down here, but more likely than not, he's just going to float them somewhere and turn them into planetary fortresses for a little bit of extra defense. In fact, he may turn them into planetary fortresses right here in order to secure this expansion. And he really needs to take these refineries here because he does not need minerals right now. What he needs is the gas. He doesn't even need to bother mining from here. He just needs that gas. ASAP. And something is definitely going to start happening soon. Both players now have got half the map. They're edging in towards one another. Soon enough, heads are going to collide and the shit is going to hit the fan. That is a very scary army. 2, 3 upgrades for his air army there. How many battle cruisers do we have? 5 BCs in the air. Jesus. 18 Vikings and 16 Ravens. That is insane. And what the hell is he even doing here? He's just like scanning all over the place. Yes, I believe he just scanned to try and figure out where all of BearZ's expansions were, and he's now going to get on the move, try and do some damage. Oh boy. I think this is just a lost cause for BearZ now. I have no idea why he's done this. He's just kept on pumping out the tanks and the Hellbats, and for what? None of those units can even damage the army of Bluesnow. He has 1 BC there, but it's just too little too late for BearZ, I feel. And the Seeker missiles going down absolutely everywhere. Oh my god, that is just so much fun to watch. I wish I was playing this game. In fact, I almost feel like pressing the take control button. BearZ says GG, and with good reason to do so. There was just nothing that he could have done there. That is just an insane army from Bluesnow. So, well played to Bluesnow there. Pretty nice macro game from both these players. And great little opening there. I really like how he sort of went for a fast CC. It was very ballsy, getting the Hellions and the drop at the same time there, and doing a sort of two-pronged attack. A drop in the main and running the Hellions in an actual. I feel it was a little bit late. He could have done them both at the same time, but he sort of dropped, retreated, run in the Hellions, and rather than a two-pronged attack, it was sort of one attack followed by another. But it was very ballsy at the same time as doing that. He was getting a third CC, which he took down here, and then ultimately he was able to just up his production, up his upgrades, and go for the Sky Terran in the end, which was a great transition. So well played to him. And yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. So if you have a replay that you'd like to submit, either to be cast or for the Low Leaguer Tips series, then feel free to do so. You can, once again, submit them to ghostmbb@gmail.com, send me a PM on YouTube, upload it to Drop SC and link me to it, or indeed go and check out the thread over on the Terran forums. I would like to just say, though, that please don't submit a game that is like an hour long to me, because I really don't have time to cast that game, and hour-long games usually aren't particularly entertaining to watch unless they are absolutely action-packed, full, jammed with action, you know. And also, don't bother submitting a replay if it's like 10 minutes long, nothing happens, and then there's just one big attack and one of the players dies. It's nothing particularly fun to watch for people, and I have to sift through a lot of replays that aren't that great, to be honest. So, try and think a little bit about the replays that you're doing. Of course, the Low Leaguer Tips replays, the main point of them is to be able to give you guys some tips on your gameplay, but at the end of the day, we also want it to be an entertaining game, because other people are watching these videos, and they want as entertaining a cast as possible, and I can only do that if the game itself is entertaining. So, with that said, thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like down below if you enjoyed this one, subscribe for more videos of the same, and I'll see you guys for another one very soon. Cheers.